My name is Raymond Wetzel. I am the Department Commander for the Military Order of the Purple Heart, Department of California. I am a 10-year veteran of the United States Navy, and I am a Purple Heart recipient.
My name is Lynn Copeland. I was E5 when I got out, sergeant. My MOS is 12B30 demolition, minesweeper.
My name is Josephine Keller. I served 26 and a half years as an aeromedical evacuation technician. I am also a Purple Heart recipient.
I was a young kid of 18 years old when I went into the Navy. I thought, as we all did when we were at that age, we knew it all. However, it took me from being a kid to an adult very quickly. My time within the Navy, the 10 years that I was within the Navy, my time in Vietnam that I was there from 70 to 71 is what really shaped me as a person to know what is important in life. And you do not take things for granted because it can be taken away from you in a heartbeat.
So my very first deployment was in 1996, and I traveled to the country of Saudi Arabia. We were in a place called Khobar Towers. If you Google it, Khobar Towers 1996, you will see the full story. So we lived in the compound there, and I was part of the medical group, or the operations medical group, the flying part of it. So we, because it was peacetime, the missions were a little light, and we didn't have a whole lot of patients at the time. However, still in peacetime, people get injured or they're sick. So our mission was to go around the other countries and pick up patients and bring them back, take them back to Germany for care. So, we were doing routine missions and just doing our job just like we were at any other base. But one night, late at night, actually there was a group trying to get on base. They were denied entry. However, they found a vulnerable spot on the outside, and they put a car bomb. They detonated a car bomb, and at that night, they did that in front of one of the buildings that was closer to the perimeter. And in that building, we lost 19 lives that night, and over 400 people were injured. I was one of them. However, I was still able to get to the center of the compound with my partners and get to work and help all the others, since we were the medical team. It's been quite a few years. However, it seems like yesterday. And still, I would still choose that career, the career path, and I would still choose to serve it because it's one of the things that was embedded in me as a small child. I always wanted to do this, and it was a great honor to serve my country.
We was minesweeping, and lieutenant was in a hurry, and so we had these backup trucks. Back then they had filled with dirt, and they used it for backup, so that we miss a mine, it would hit the truck and everything. Of course, about 12 of us hop on top of that backup truck on the right side. That's when we hit that mine. We got completely blown over. I got blown up in 10 feet up in the air, landed on my head, my shoulders and back. The other guys, I did not know what happened, I'll be honest with you. Because I was in a coma, and anyhow, I woke up, and here's a colonel right there, and giving me a Purple Heart. And I didn't want it, and I threw it at him, And anyhow, I ended up losing both my shoulders. I ended up losing 3, 4, and 5 on my neck, and I had my total knee replaced. Can't tell, because I like exercising and everything, keep myself in shape, even though my age is 75. But I tell everybody, I'm turning my numbers around. I'm 57 now, you know, which makes me feel younger. So I went back out again, started mine sweeping, and then one of the trucks hit another mine. It was a 40-pounder. That's what I hit. That's what I got hit on, was 40 pounds. And well, anyhow, so we got shrapnel in our arms. We had this sewed up, 17 stitches, and shrapnel on my knees still there, you know. And I ended up getting 2 of them, you know, with Army combination medal and everything.
I was stationed in Quinyon. I was with the Naval Advisory Group, and we were on a peninsula, was where I was stationed. I was on what we call our transmitter site, and only way that we could get to our main base is walking down the mountain road to get to a mic boat. But at the bottom of the mountain was a village, and it was located in between where I was at and our main base. And it was a VC sympathizer type of community compound. And we always received harassment fire. Well, this one day, a group of us was walking down and we came under fire, and I didn't get down fast enough, and unfortunately I received small arm shrapnel in the face. The sacrifice is long term. It takes you from the immediate to what we are living today. We provided the protection of everyone here in the United States and for all free nations, not to let aggression take over. And we're living that today, and you'll see that throughout. So I had a grandfather that served in both World War I and World War II. My dad was pre-World War II in the United States Marine Corps. My brother was in the Navy, and I've been in the Navy. And if I had to do it all over again, yes, I would. The Vietnam War was an unfavorable war, or what they call conflict. We were during a time of protest, as you know, and we all have experienced protests over the years and stuff.
You know, back in Vietnam, we all came home individually. We didn't come in as a unit, right? And so, so when I got to Fort Lewis, Washington, and Washington area, you know, and coming out of the, you know, the airport, coming to the airport, everybody spit on me, called me a baby killer, and everything. And I was when I got out, I was 20. When I was in Vietnam, I was 19. That was the biggest thing that upset me, you know. I think they're saying that was our fault, you know. It wasn't our fault, you know. So yeah, I used to have a hard time with that. I did drink. I drank to where I felt worthless. Well, anyhow, I last year I came back home. I had been home 14 years, and my brother, I asked my brother how many DUIs I had, and I thought I had 2. He said, no, you got 5 of them. And I was like, wow. So I came out here trying to get sober, and I ended up getting some more DUIs, you know. So anyhow, I ended up turning myself at the VA hospital in Loma Linda, and I got sober after that. It was like a tough love thing. They sit you in the middle and trying to make you, you know, break up, you know, and break down. I wasn't the kind of person to break down at that period of time. So I started leaving, and then here, Joe, he stopped me. So I ended up finishing the program after 3 months. Been sober ever since then. That was 45 years ago. I've been sober. So I've been going to the Vet Center for 30 years now. I'm part of the Vet Center in San Bernardino, and I help other veterans try to get sober. You know, I help them get, you know, Purple Hearts, you know, and everything too. I plan on writing a book, I'll be honest with you. You know, I've helped out veterans get sober. I helped my neighbor Tammy, her daughter gets sober. She asked me how would I do it, and I told them, like, well, I don't forget where I came from, which is miserable, and I never took that first drink. And I told that to Michelle, and so Michelle, up to this date, 8 years now, she's been sober because I told her there's two things: don't forget where you came from, and don't forget, and don't take that first drink, And that's why I tell everybody I come close to and tell them, hey, about drinking, or drugs or whatever, anything mind altering, I'd love to see other veterans smile, One thing about, I belong to a vet center. A long time ago, we protested for the veterans when they got out, that they would be praised. That's something that we didn't have, okay? But we protested, and that's the reason why the veterans nowadays, and when they come in as a unit, they're being praised, It's an honor to me. It's an honor that people says, welcome home, thank you for your support, or thank you for your service, and I tell them, thank you for your support, It's an honor that I have, that of course I'll never forget how I got it, but, but it's an honor to have a Purple Heart,
But it is a prestigious medal. I am proud to wear it. However, it is a reminder every day of what happened, overseas. However, I am grateful, and it keeps me going to go ahead and help other veterans, because veterans like me that have been injured or have been to war suffer a great deal of PTSD and other horrors, and they need our help. For those of us, especially for those that have experienced the same things, it's a peer and peer help that we give them.
I wear even though that I was the one that was wounded, I wear it on behalf of all the other men and women who lost their lives and earned the Purple Heart. They are unable to share that with their families and their friends. So for me, I wear it for them. I personally refused my medal when I was wounded, and it took me 30 years to receive it, because when I went to get my benefits, I had a EDD counselor, saw that I had been wounded in combat. He was a 3-time recipient of the Purple Heart. He was a United States Marine, and so he took it upon himself and submitted the paperwork for me to receive my Purple Heart, and which I told him I didn't want it because I didn't feel that my wounds were sufficient compared to others. And so when I did receive it, I made it my pledge to put my heart and soul into the order. A lot of them were hospitalized, and a lot of them, in my opinion, were disrespected by the fact is that they woke up and had a Purple Heart pinned to their pillow. The new Secretary of War has mandated now that all Purple Heart medals and all Valor medals will be presented in person to the person or to the family posthumously. No longer will it just be placed, whatever. There will be a ceremony.
That's excellent.
Yeah, it is. Way overdue.
Yeah, wow.
Way overdue.
For a young person, I would let them know how it is an honor to serve your country, and how many opportunities and how many lives they can touch by doing so. This is not everybody's path, but for those that wish to do it, it's a tremendous opportunity. And we are grateful for those that serve, but also for those that support us.